Hello, fellas and ladies. I'm doing Oscar predictions again. Cannes has happened. We've had some movies release. So we've gotten news. Stuff has happened since the last time I did a prediction video. A few notable things. Megalopolis is gone. This will be the last time I talk about Megalopolis on this channel until I review the movie, because I probably will. Also, pretty much like right before I was about to hit record, it was like low-key confirmed that Mother Mary is not coming out this year, so I'm going to be dismissing that until it's confirmed it's coming out. You will not hear me talking about The Smashing Machine because I don't think that movie's coming out until next year. Next year we could talk about Dwayne Johnson getting in, but for now we're not talking about it. Got some word about certain things that we could be going to Venice. A lot of it's speculation, but it's pretty credible. I don't know. Let's just who cares? Let's just start talking about some predictions. Number 1 to 3 are still the same. I still think Dune is Dune is as locked as can be. Sing Sing may not be out yet, but it's probably gonna happen. I have seen it. It's probably gonna happen. And then Blitz, I guess is a world where it's mid, but until that happens, I'm gonna keep that at number 3. Arguably the biggest development of the out of Cannes was Anora is so absolutely locked in for Best Picture that, quite frankly, nothing is gonna convince me otherwise. It has an actor's nomination secure in Mikey Madison. It's gonna get a directing nomination. Sean Baker's gonna get his Oscar nominations for director and writing. Could even win. Honestly, I'll even say he could win directing. I was gonna say just writing, which he could, but I think he could also win directing. I mean, he won the Palme d'Or. I don't think people are suspicious anymore, but hearing about what this movie is, it just screams to me that this movie is going to get nominated for Best Picture, guaranteed. It's a Palme d'Or winner now, even more so than when Anatomy of a Fall won. Do you understand what it means for Anora, an American movie which already had some attention around it because it's a Sean Baker movie, and it won the Palme d'Or? I mean, what other what else do you need? I see some people looking at the Uncut Gems comparison people made and being like, that's not Oscars, will never do that. I think when they say Uncut Gems, I think they mean the editing is frenetic and crazy. The movie apparently has a decent amount of heart and actual drama attached to it on top of being funny. I don't think any part of me is questioning if Anora is gonna. I think honestly, let's just lock it in right now. Locked in. You see, this is the lock and this is the key. Throw away the key. I did decide to put Queer at number 5. Luca Guadagnino is definitely a bit of a hot streak right now with challengers. Still decent, doing decent in the box office. Maybe the audience reception isn't perfect, but audiences are into it. But I don't think challengers is gonna be a thing. So Luca's gonna be collaborating with Justin Kuritsky again with this melodrama that's rumored to go to Venice. Probably gonna do a festival run, probably gonna do NIF, probably gonna do TIFF, maybe even Tyler. Could do all 4, honestly. My thing with this is Daniel Craig. I'm just so confident that Daniel Craig is gonna win actor. I'll get to it when I do the actor video, but I'm so confident that Daniel Craig is gonna win Best Actor that at that point I just have to put it Queer to get it this high up. And honestly, let's get Luca in director while we're at it. My main thing is just if this movie's gonna be known, people are gonna watch it, people are gonna know it exists, and people are at least gonna admire Daniel Craig. If it is just one of the best of the year, why would it not get in? I can tell this is not what Challengers is. I can tell obviously this isn't Bones and all. I don't really see much reason why this wouldn't happen if it's really good, which I don't have much reason to believe that is the case because Luca Guadagnino does not miss. I do have Joker, Fale et Deux at number 6. It's possible that this is just inevitable. I don't see a world where this is does what the first Joker did, but I do think that this movie could unleash the zeitgeist that the first movie unleashed, maybe to a lesser degree, but also I feel it could even be better than the first one. It clearly has its own identity, unlike Joker 1. Being a musical does give it its own separate thing. Well, musical in quotes. I don't know, I feel Joker 2, I mean, unless it's bad, it's just a disaster. Again, it's rumored to be going to Venice. It's probably gonna go to TIFF from there. If it goes south at the festivals, then you kind of forget about it. Because I think what made Joker 1 kind of catapult was just how, that festival run was the best thing that ever happened to any movie ever. And it's gonna make a lot of money. It's probably gonna make $1 billion. Probably gonna get a decent smattering of techs again. It just, the stuff is there. It's just kind of what am I to say to, get me to doubt it other than it could be bad? Well, I don't know. The trailer came out, and the trailer's not that bad. I still have the end at number 7. It should be noted that Anora is obviously going to be Neon's, like, big thing, and Anora is probably going to keep doing festivals after, Cannes going to go to, like, probably Telluride and Tiff and Niff. Neon does tend to put their palm winners, like, out there after Cannes, so, it's probable that Anora is just going to keep going, but I do still want to take a very close look at the end. I do think Neon can manage to, and they do have the Seed of the Sacred Fig, which I will get to, and I do think that's worth talking about as well. But I do really want to take another look at the end and just say, well, if this movie is, like, one of the better movies to come out of the festivals, what is gonna stop it, is my question. I don't think it's, like, the kind of genres, like, I think it'll be, like, kind of out there, but, like, not enough. I think it'll have a broad audience. Being a musical, being a post-apocalyptic musical, being, like, this ensemble, being, like, an Eat the Rich kind of movie. It'll stand out amongst a crowd at worst, and I do think that is something to take note of. Yes, no Universal Neon puts this above Anora. I don't know, something about the end is sticking with me. I read, like, a long-form synopsis of the film, and it makes me think that this could be, like, something else. It's like a Golden Era style musical too. It'll have, like, compelling, like, interesting, fun characters in it. Again, my main thing with this is it's gonna stick out, and I can't really ignore that. I did decide to put Maria at 8, and that might be a little too high, but I want y'all to hear me out on this one. I don't think this is going to be Spencer. I don't think this is Spencer. I think Pablo Larraín's working on a different, like, level this time. I do think attention is on Pablo Larraín after Spencer, and after Jackie, for that matter. I do think that, like, Angelina Jolie is going to get nominated. We all know that. Like, okay, look, we know this movie's going to be good, and I don't think it's going to be, like, controversial like Spencer was, because, like, Princess Diana and Maria Callas aren't really on the same level of, like, kind of, like, talking points. Even though Spencer's brilliant, I don't really know why the movie had, like, hate towards it other than, I didn't get it. Fuck you guys, you suck. But if Maria is that good, and maybe I could be eating my words. Like, again, another movie rumored to be at Venice, and it could come out and be divisive again, and I could be eating my words. But I don't know. I think this one is different. I just think it's different. I don't think it's gonna be quite as out there. And, like, Jackie was arguably close, so I don't know. I think we should, like, take this a little more seriously than we are. Actually, no. I think people are actually taking it pretty seriously. I can't lie. I have lowered the piano lesson down to 9. I don't know. Something about the piano lesson, like, it could just be an inevitability, but inevitabilities aren't top 5ers. Not anymore, at least. It could just be another August Wilson adaptation, and we all agree that Sam Jackson might win. But, maybe it's just, like, not, like, that, like, special. Ma Rainey wasn't that special, and that missed. Fences wasn't special either, and that got in. But I think we're in a different era of the Academy that when Fences came out. But I mean, if we're gonna say it gets acting, I don't think you gotta go that far and see what else it can get in. I do think that, like, what this movie has on its side is pretty obvious. Denzel Washington producing another August Wilson adaptation, and I think it's about time we talk about The Apprentice. It premiered at Cannes. The reviews have been, I'm going to say, mixed positive. It feels like it is playing to a crowd. However, the negative reactions do exist. There are some people saying, why do we need this? This movie doesn't really get at anything. We all know, Donald Trump is a bad guy. Like, why? It was just, like, 4 in a way. But I did decide to keep it in for a couple reasons. I think the biggest thing is Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong are, like, they're locked in. There is absolutely a world where it stops at those two. But, like, I do think that matters for something. That there are 2 actors that are, like, assured nominations. One of them playing Donald Trump. I mean, from what I'm hearing, Sebastian Stan's performance as Donald Trump, like, exceeds expectations. Like, he's, like, truly something else in this movie. And then Jeremy Strong's playing, like, a monster. Like, he like, has to get in. They may not be winning, but they are getting in. And then The Apprentice itself, obviously it's going to be timely with, the election and him being a part of the election cycle again. I don't know what him possibly winning or losing would do for this movie. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I wasn't at Cannes this year. Well, next year, though, hopefully. And quite frankly, I don't know I don't know what the election results would entail for this movie. I don't, I'm not you coming here for hard-hitting, like, political conversations? I'm not, no. But I do think that this will hit a certain audience. It does look like it's gonna get the people who just fucking hate Donald Trump. They're gonna be like, yeah, he's a monster. He's, like, a terrible person. They're like, and maybe he doesn't say anything, but, like, they're gonna be like, facts, bro. You're so true. And since they are gonna, like, they're gonna watch this movie. Everyone's gonna watch this movie. So I do think Apprentice is gonna get in, but I do think it's gonna stay in that bottom tier. Maybe it gets in, like, maybe eventually it's just like a Vice thing where it's like, it's just gonna happen. Ali Abbasi's not gonna get in. I asked around. That's just not a possibility, even if the movie is in picture. I do need to discuss The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Premiered at Cannes to rapturous applause. This shit was raved. Other than Anora, I would argue it's the second most acclaimed film of the fest. And the elephant in the room with The Seed of the Sacred Fig. The movie's very, very critical of the Iranian government, and the director, Mohammad Rusalouf, is basically, like, sentenced to be imprisoned because of this movie, I think, for 8 years. And he fled the country. The director's literally in exile because of, like, how, like, damning this movie is. The movie didn't win any of the Cannes Awards, which I don't love. I do not love that, and that is what prompted me to, decide to leave it out for the time being. For now. But I do think we need to take this movie, like, very, very seriously. The narrative is there. We all, like, you heard what I just said. There's a narrative there. And that doesn't, like, always translate, per se. But I do think that could, like, give this some attention and maybe even, go on to more festivals and continue to gain buzz. And if the end kind of face plants, Neon, again, they're never gonna not prioritize Anora. They could, push this as a number 2. We do need an international title. I mean, so far I don't have one, which is, I don't take that lightly. It could be this. It could be something that premieres at the fall festivals. I don't know yet. It could just be a case of it's too good to miss. That is a possibility. Like, maybe the movie is just so rousing, so inspiring, and combined with the narrative that, like, it'll just get the votes. It has the attention. It just needs the votes. And I don't see it being that hard to get it. If competition starts to dwindle, maybe The Apprentice does go. Maybe, Joker's not very good. Maybe, Maria is just too weird. Maybe the end isn't it. The piano lesson isn't it. You start whittling down competitors, it is possible for Seed of the Sacred Fig to just go back up. It does have an 82 on Metacritic, which isn't, like, amazing, like, in terms of, like, getting out. Like, 82 is a really good score, but, like, when it comes to international titles, you need maybe a little bit more than that. Although, like, it could be good enough. I think we all need to have The Seed of the Sacred Fig, like, very close by. I think it's a very strong possibility. And I also really think we should take a really close look at Night Bitch. I have heard a couple test reactions that aren't great, but I don't really care about those. Night Bitch is directed by Mariel Heller. It's not lost on me that I have no women directors in my 10. I don't like that at all. And I do think something has to give. And kind of what I said about The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Perhaps it's just too good. And like the end, it's gonna stick out amongst a crowd. It's a very bizarre-ass concept. Maybe Amy Adams gets some, like, true winning buzz for this. It's not impossible. It could just be too out there. That's not dawned on me. It also could just be, bad. Which brings me to Conclave. This is certainly where I differ from some of my colleagues and some other people who are doing predictions. Something is not sitting right with me with Conclave. And I'm not, like, just for future reference, I am not budging on this until I see it for myself, or it's seen, I should probably say. Because Conclave, it just reeks of failed Oscar bait. I really don't. I'm not falling for this thing where, like, a director, after years of working, gets one movie in Edward Berger's case, is All Quiet on the Western Front. And yeah, that movie crushed, but that doesn't mean he's an Oscar darling now. And I will admit, the prospects of who's in this is, like, like, what it's about, and the book apparently being a real page-turner. That's not lost on me, but I don't want to fall for it. I also don't love the writer. The last 3 movies, yeah, I'm giving Conclave out. And if, I see it and I change my mind, I'll take it. I'll take the L. Also, and I probably should have mentioned this in Night Bitch, I don't have Focus or Searchlight in my 10. Also, which seemingly is a mistake. And also brings me to a real pain as well. But, like, if they have nothing, they have nothing. Like, I think that just needs. I'm not gonna predict a movie I don't believe in just because of the studio. Like, that, I don't want to do that. It's bad faith to do such a thing, and I think if Conclave isn't good, it's not just gonna get in because it's Focus. I should bring up a real pain. I think I have definitely grown on this possibility. I mean, it's well received. We know that for right now because it premiered at Sundance to raves. And I do genuinely wonder if, like, because let's just face it, the bar is low for this film. Everyone who agrees, this film stops at 3 nominations: supporting actor for Kieran Culkin, which is looking pretty likely; original screenplay for the movie for Jesse Eisenberg, I guess, and then picture. It's not gonna get lead actor for Jesse Eisenberg. It's not gonna get director for Jesse Eisenberg. It's not gonna get editing, I don't think. Well, okay, I guess I shouldn't count that out. But, like, it just isn't gonna, like, get much. That's the problems with this movie. The movie is basically being like hoisted by Kieran Culkin. That's not the most ideal scenario for your movie to be in, and I'm not just gonna push it in because I need a Searchlight movie. They've missed before. That's a real pain. We all know what that is. Now let's talk about Emilia Perez. One of the few films that got pretty buzzed about at Cannes before it kind of, the reviews aren't like spectacular, but I do want to talk about it a little bit because I was told in private by a couple of people who were there that the movie has a lot more broad appeal than meets the eye. Apparently, it is a little out there. However, I do think that this movie could maybe find an audience. Netflix picked it up. It could have a push from them. It does sound like Carla Sofia Gascon has like quite a lot to do. Like apparently she like could happen without the movie. Apparently a decent supporting bid with Selena Gomez, maybe even Zoe Saldana, maybe both. Again, this is one I will not touch this movie except for maybe international feature until like I get the chance to see it. I know it's good, and the reviews aren't like amazing, so like I can't go there yet, but like perhaps this could like hit the right chord. And See the Circuit Fig, I didn't mention this, will never get nominated for international feature. So this could be our international winner right here. And if that's the case, I mean, could also get Globe noms for Carla, maybe even Selena, and maybe even the picture. There is also The Room Next Door, which I haven't really talked about too much because I didn't think it was coming out this year, and quite frankly, it's not confirmed if it is. Pedro Almodovar's first English language movie starring Tilda Swinton, Julianne Moore. Not nothing. John Turturro is also in it, I believe. This could be like a thing, but my thing would be like, it has an advantage for being English, but I would also argue that Parallel Mothers and Pain and Glory, I don't think like the reason they didn't get in was because like they're international. It's possible Pedro just doesn't make movies that are like top tier Best Picture things. And, like, he just sticks with the actors. I guess I'll talk about here briefly. I don't think so. I don't think Robert Zemeckis, more like Robert Zemeckis, shit! Him reuniting with the Forrest Gump guys, like Eric Roth writing and fucking Hanks and Wright being in it, that means nothing to me. It's also like, all takes place in one room, like through decades that could turn off some people, although it has some good test screenings, which I don't typically care about, but like, I guess it kind of confirms this movie isn't like a weirdo movie. It's just Zemeckis. He's kind of sucks. Like he kind of sucks at making movies now. Sorry. Like I don't know if here's good. Even then, like I don't think that guarantees it's shit. I guess I can talk briefly about Furiosa. I think I'm pretty settled that it will not get nominated for Best Picture, but I still think it needs to be discussed because it's getting like 3 to 4 tags. Like I don't think that should be like eliminated per se. But I don't think. Like, even though there are some people saying they liked it more than Fury Road, I think it doesn't have enough of that, oh, wow, holy fuck factor that Fury Road had. I loved it, but, I don't think it's there. SNL 1975, I think I can finally talk about, because I wasn't sure if it's coming out, and I'm still not sure, but I'll keep it in here just in case. I know it's in the middle of post, so it could be something there, and if it premieres at festivals with a bang, because if it goes to festivals, it's going to TIFF, and maybe it makes some noise, but my guess is it's just going to be like a fine, fun movie. I don't see like a big rousing thing. It's also like 90 minutes in real time. It has a lot of actors we like in it. I don't know. I'm not like settled on this. I'm not ruling it out, but my guess is no. Reitman doesn't really do Best Picture stuff anymore. Nickel Boys, I have a lot lower than most. All I see is failed Oscar bait. That's all I see. Like Ramel Ross, like who the fuck is he? I know what he directed. He directed Hill County This Morning's Evening. Fuck off. I don't know. It feels like it's just gonna premiere Telluride, and then it's just like, okay, whatever. It exists from there. Maybe Anjou Alice gets in, but like, His Three Daughters. Now, I don't think so, but I do think that Netflix is gonna push it. They have Natasha Lyonne. She's probably gonna get in if I'm like pretty sure she's getting in. I do genuinely think that there is something here with this movie, but again, similar to A Real Pain, it's just what's its haul, and it's not a lot. It's just, again, supporting acting, screenplay, if they really want to like it that much, then editing, I suppose. Gladiator 2, I guess I can talk about briefly. Again, don't think this movie's going to be very good. But honestly, even if it is, like, it costed $300 million, so it's like a bomb is very much on the table. There's no universe where it's bigger than Dune or Joker, the other sequels. I don't know. Like, even if it's good, even The Last Duel, like, they're clearly not opposed to snubbing Ridley. I don't know. I feel like people need to like lower their expectations on this, if I'm being honest. I think Gladiator 2. I know about the fucking CinemaCon stuff, but I just do not think that this movie is gonna amount to anything besides like a tech or two, even. Juror number 2, my guess is no, but I guess we shouldn't You know, I know it's Clint Eastwood, but like I don't know. I feel like this movie's gonna be a little bit more rousing and more like crowd pleasery and more like broad than just another Clint Eastwood slop that he just fucking threw together. It could happen. I'm interested in this. Maybe it premieres at Venice and it just blows off out of the gate. All We Imagine Is Light also got raves out of Cannes, but it kind of sounds like it's not gonna happen. It sounds like it's just not really that. It sounds really good, and you know, maybe India doesn't submit it though, because they have a lot of movies. I don't know. I guess I can keep my eye on it, but I'm not sensing it. All We Imagine Is Light Best Picture nomination as of now. I do have Hard Truths in at 25. You know, the bleaker of it all makes me so nervous. But if it is like real. No, Blaker can't campaign for shit. Yeah, no, this is probably just a Marion Jean-Baptiste nomination at best. Maybe screenplay. I'll throw screenplay. It's a possibility. Collaboration. I'm predicting the actors. Maybe I should take it a little more seriously like I am The Apprentice, but I just don't see this, like skyrocketing. Although it could also get screenplay, so I should maybe look at this a little deeper. But is it even coming out this year? Nosferatu, man, I can't get over the humps, but I still stand by that if it's like really, really, really good, like just undeniable, then maybe we could look at it. The actor, we'll see. Through the Fire Inside in 29, I feel like I should talk about it briefly. Has a nice awards date, and it is written by Barry Jenkins, but I'm guessing it's just gonna be like a mid, like, sports movie. Not much to it. That's the end of that. I'm going to Italy in like not even a week, so I don't know. I'm hoping I can get like some more prediction videos out before I go. I'm probably gonna do acting in one video. Hopefully maybe I can get directing and writing before I leave, and then I'll have to do text after. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, share.